What's happening in Las Vegas? 2 o'clock Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. It means only one thing, Vegas nonstop. I'm your co-host, Jeffrey with a G. Here's the man of the hour, Jonathan Scott.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Tell me why I don't like Mondays.
Tell me why.
Tell me why. I don't like Mondays. I don't like Mondays because you have to usually go back to work, but half the people are not working, so I think we like Mondays a little bit better. Hey, everybody out there on Facebook, if you're near your computer and you want to join us and see what we're doing, you could go to @JonathanScott. LV, JONATHAN, Scott LV. If you're near a computer and want to see us on Facebook Live. So it's been a big weekend for NFL fans. Jeffrey with a G, 75%, hitting your
Third
numbers.
week in a row.
Yeah, 75%. The guys at the newspaper don't hit 75%, pal.
I understand that. Thank you. Thank
Big
you.
applause, big applause.
Thank you.
Joining us also, aside from our co-host, author, sports writer, Rob Mish. Robbie, big Packers fan. We had to have you back in here to talk about Aaron Rodgers and the Pack.
I was going to say, it's good to have our old friend back with us.
I can only say, hey now.
Hank Kingsley.
Great to be back. Thanks for having me.
Sure, somewhere driving on these mighty byways and highways, as I'll be sure he's going to be coming in and joining us and talking about the music industry and what he's up to in his professional and personal life. So, welcome aboard. Let's start by talking about yesterday and Saturday's games, if we can. Jeffrey with a G.
I don't even know where to begin, man. I mean, Saturday, the games weren't that exciting, Rob. It was sort of like what you expected, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
I guess you could say it was a little disappointing, but Seattle didn't really show up to play. I think we really saw what Atlanta's all about, though, especially at home.
Seattle was kind of gimping into it. They weren't firing. Although, you know what? Russell was just getting
Oh,
his
my
legs
goodness.
back and
Yeah,
becoming
he was.
dynamic.
He
But
was. Finally 100% healthy, and he showed it with a couple of those runs.
but they had some issues on the defense, and that sure showed to the surface, too. So
Yeah, but you know what? I'm surprised they kept that under wraps for so long. I mean, isn't that
It was pretty
against NFL policy?
It was pretty stunning, but on the weekend that the Seahawks get eliminated and the Packers win, I am elated.
Does Pete Carroll and the Seahawks get fined for something like that, for hiding a Richard Sherman knee injury like that?
I'm not sure. I mean,
No?
they're so ticky-tack, I would imagine they could do anything. But I consider a Seahawk a flying rat, so sayonara.
I call them the Sea Chickens.
And I call them
Sea chickens.
Seahawks.
And then obviously later in the day, the New England Patriots, who did not play very well at all, 16-point favorites, went into halftime only up by 1, 14-13. Defense turned it on in the second half, though, and they basically shut out Houston. They only gave up 3 points in the second half. I was listening to the boys next door here earlier, Mitch and Pritch. Mitch said, you know what? They played their worst game of the season. They still covered a 16-point spread. Not too
It
bad.
was amazing. I'm glad I didn't take that bet, because I kept saying 17 points. It was as high as 17 points
I
at
know.
the MGM.
And it lands on 18.
And landed on 18. So
And
I'm
I
glad
almost
didn't do
predicted the score within 3 points.
that. Yeah, you were spot on. I mean, thank goodness for your Patriots coming through on that. But the Seahawks are what hurt me on my crazy
Ditto.
propositional bets on how many interceptions and how many fumbles there were going to be.
So
But-
Jonathan sends me a parlay ticket yesterday where he has the Packers and the over, which are not crazy. There has to be more than one fumble combined.
Yeah.
There has to be more than 2 interceptions combined. And on the same card has Pittsburgh and the over, and there has to be more than one fumble in that game and more than 2 interceptions in that game.
I would say the only property to write that ticket would be Circus Circus.
Well, there's no more circus. Ringling, in case you haven't heard, Ringling
And that-
Brothers and Barnum and Bailey has closed. No more
Yeah,
more Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circuits anymore.
By the way, just for the record, that ticket paid $250 to 1.
my ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$5 won $750.
Oh.
Yeah, and for some
Now-
reason they actually I had another one like that, and they wouldn't take the Steelers along on that. They made it a 7-team instead of an 8-team. I don't know why they just killed it.
You go to these casinos with some wacky rules.
The Westgate.
He tells me the Westgate won't let you take a double-digit favorite combined with a total. Like you can't put,
You can't do a parlay. You can do it on the parlay card.
like you
but
can't go to the window and say, "Give me the Patriots in the over," because they're favored by 16 points.
Wow, that's weird.
I know.
Yeah.
I've
I would
heard
think
of
a
that.
lot would go with the Jay Cornegay Inn.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
No, they won't take that. Somebody
Jake
also
Cornegay.
said today, and I'm not sure on this one. If anybody knows in Facebook land, or you want to give us a call, 702-365-9200, that there's a limit on the parlay card. Somebody said there was like a $300 limit.
Yeah, that's how they mitigate the risk.
So there is a three. They said the
Because
Westgate's
if you
limit was
go,
higher.
if you go 15 for 15, I believe it is on the parlay card, they pay you what 150 to 1.
No, that's 10,000 to 1.
No. When we
You
were
go
when we
eight.
were in studio with is it Austin on Friday, and
Yes.
he told us his dad hit the $10 card, paid $1,500.
Eight pays 150 to 1. An 8-teamer plays 150 to 1. I know that for a
I don't
fact.
think so. Well,
I know that for a fact. 8 pays 150 to 1 because I bet $10. You win.
Well, I don't play them enough to know
640.
what those odds are.
780, yeah, 150 to 1. That's about right.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what it pays.
Oh,
Yeah, but you've got the wind has to be blowing a particular way, and the sun has to be shining on your
has to be
backyard.
during a solar eclipse,
On your
a hailstorm,
backyard.
and a unicorn running through the living room.
Yes, well, I've dated a few of those. A few unicorns running through my backyard. So it was a great week. Your Patriots covered. You might get a text from Albie to.
I just did.
Oh, you want to go let him in?
Al, if you're listening to us, come on in the side door. It's open.
I'll go get it. Here. take this.
Bobby will go get it.
We
I'll,
don't need a soundboard producer.
No, Bobby's gonna.
We
Bobby's
can produce ourselves.
Bobby's
I'm not a
multitasking
producer, I'm a
here.
cameraman.
Everybody's in the parade.
Let's talk about the Patriots game just for a second. Tom Brady took a beating in that game. The Houston's pass rush, led by, I've been talking about him for a couple weeks now, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
They roughed
Hey,
him up.
Clowney.
And I'm going to tell you right now, he was pissed off after the game.
Who was?
Brady. Belichick was pissed off at the way they played. Brady was pissed off at his offensive line for letting him basically get used like a tackling dummy.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be very bitter about this Pittsburgh coming to town. And let's talk about Pittsburgh for a second.
Well, back up. Brady's got a lot of reasons to be pissed at a lot of people, and he has all season. So,
Why is that?
Well, how did his season
4-game
start?
suspension?
Deflated balls.
Yeah, so he's him mad.
I'll look for any
I don't know.
opportunity to say
Watch
deflated
out
balls.
with a Brady who's angry.
I agree. But I'm going to tell you right now, Belichick took that offensive line coordinator and put his foot
Sure.
up his you-know-what and said,
Sure.
you better have those guys ready for next Sunday because we don't need number 12 on his ass all day.
Yeah, but granted they were at home, but how many teams can cover a spread like that after a start like that?
Well, that's my point.
Ooh, and it comes down to one guy.
Played a lousy game.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about the one
you
guy.
were telling me about the one guy.
Let's
before
talk
we
about
went to
number
air.
33,
Man.
who now wears Kevin Fox old jersey.
No.
We know what a great player he was. Dion Lewis, now 100% healthy, coming off the PUP list, which is player unable to play. I don't think he played for the first 10 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
He had a shattered kneecap. Became the first player since 1950 to have a punt return for a touchdown, rush for a touchdown, and receive a touchdown. And that's his first playoff game ever.
And nothing in his career would have led you to believe that, really,
No.
would it?
No.
So there they are. There's the Patriots coming up with a guy, and everything coming
At
up
hour
roses.
zero, and he's a superstar.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier. You match him in the backfield with a LeGarrette Blount,
Yeah.
who's just straight ground and pound,
Yeah.
knocking dudes over. You throw him in out of the backfield. I mean, that's a deadly combination.
And it can make you forget a guy like Gronk,
A little bit.
which is stunning. I
A
mean,
little
that's a
bit.
high-powered weapon there.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So for them to still be
And-
firing with all
And
cylinders.
this other receiver, Chris Hogan. I don't know where he came from. He's
Hogan.
He's a former quarterback.
I know. Amendola's back now.
Yeah.
You got Edelman, who's just a stud every week. 15 targets, 10 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
At the front
Um,
door.
And our other tight end from Chicago, Martellus Bennett.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's really special.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're going to be facing a very good Pittsburgh Steelers team who somehow managed to win in Kansas City without scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
6 field goals, and they win the game.
Were they the first team to ever win a game without scoring a touchdown in the playoffs?
Perhaps.
I heard some kind of stat early this morning, and I forget.
I
Maybe it
remember-
happened in 60 or 50 or something.
I remember in the early 90s, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a playoff game or a Monday Night Football game. The Niners and the Giants played a game where all the scoring was field goals on both sides.
Playoff game.
Yeah.
Ah, wow.
Like 15-9 or 15-12 or something like that.
Right.
It was really weird.
Right.
But it's been a while since it's happened, especially in this day and age of offense and quarterbacks.
Right.
At least back then, it was more, Giants ground and pound football.
Right.
Remember Otis Anderson
Oh,
in the
yeah.
backfield? And
Yeah. Real football,
those
real
great
tough.
Giant teams with Rathman and Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Cornhusker number 44 opening up the hole for Roger?
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Boy.
But I'll tell you what, Antonio Brown, let's talk about him for a second.
Yeah.
Probably the best receiver, in the game. Up there, right?
Sure.
With Odell Beckham and A.J. Green and, Des Bryant and a
Yeah.
handful of other guys. This guy, after the game last night, goes into the locker room,
Right.
takes his phone, logs onto Facebook,
Yeah.
and goes on Facebook Live and starts broadcasting the celebration in the locker room, including Coach Mike Tomlin's speech to them afterwards.
Which was let's stay off social media for a week and not
And
get
in
distracted.
his message, he said, we gave those guys, we spotted those guys a day and a half
Right.
because they played yesterday. We
Right.
had to play the night game and blah, 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 blah. He called them a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah.
And now let's be quiet, play Steeler football, stay off social media.
Right.
All the while, he's on social media.
Unbelievable.
I gotta tell you, if I'm that guy's teammate, I got a real problem with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I got a problem with all that kind of stuff, all the social media and all the listen to me. You know, it's too much.
No, I
I
agree.
agree, as we're doing on a
Well, I thought maybe it was Donald Trump.
Good
How about Obama?
riddance. Is all
That's what you're saying?
It's all I have to say.
Well, we don't really get into too much of it,
No,
but
no.
it's just funny stuff going on.
Yeah.
So Steelers and Chiefs got moved. Is Al here?
I think so. He says yes, lobby.
Oh, okay. Well,
Steelers and Chiefs got moved because of weather.
yeah.
I'll go check.
Okay.
And ended up, instead of playing, I believe, at noon Central Time or Mountain Time, wherever Casey is, or let's just call it, we'll use Pacific Time. Instead of 10 a.m. here, it was 5 o'clock here. So they moved them up 7 hours because of the weather. And obviously a lot of KC players didn't like that. They felt it was somehow going to help Pittsburgh play better, or I don't know, it's an advantage. I don't understand how.
I'm good, you found it.
I don't know. It was kind of crazy, but it was better all in all. Al B. Shore in
We do have a special
studio
guest who just joined us.
with Charlie Brown.
My man.
Yakety yak, don't talk back. Al's got his own headset, which is always good.
What's going on, my man?
How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. Happy New Year.
The man with the
Man,
golden
let me
voice.
tell you, it's an amazing day.
Isn't it?
Off of a plane, into the dentist's office, into the recording studio. Here we go.
Wow. You know
Wow.
how we do.
This is what we do. No rest for the weary or the wicked. So we're going to take our first
happy to be here.
Huh?
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm just
to be
happy
here.
to be anywhere.
Good to see you.
It's good to
Good to see
It's
you.
good to have you here.
Yeah, Charlie, thanks. We're going to take our first commercial break. Back more Vegas Nonstop KBAD, 9:20 a.m. Stay right where you are. Okay, we'll take this off of Bobby. Let's get Al wired in. Open your mouth.
Oh, you don't want to see that. I had temper in there.
What happened?
We already talked about your son's show a little bit.
Oh, you did. You're just coming from the dent. Oh, really?
Yeah, sneak
Fast?
over on this.
Yeah, and it happened right as I was getting off stage. I kept feeling.
What happened?
wanna do
we
camera?
did the Sundome this weekend.
Is this your camera? Our camera? You can just share it.
Tampa.
You go to
I'll meet Brian.
mine on Facebook. You can share it on yours.
And then you just felt
Want me to hold it while you
No,
do
I've been
that?
feeling the last few days.
We're on break.
felt worse and worse.
And
She finds things you want to do.
Yeah, you want to find me or you want to shoot it on yours?
it's just much regular footage.
Oh, okay.
I guess I should be sharing yours, right?
Yes.
Al, was it inflamed or what was
This
the
is your
deal?
Dicka spot coming up next, by the way.
A what?
Your Dicka
Both
spot.
sides, and then one they pulled.
Dicka cigar,
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Oh,
one.
good. Thanks. Yeah.
that worked out.
You're not going to miss that guy.
Oh no.
It's funny because Rob was supposed to go to the dentist today too.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. I should be there right now.
Here, go.
Dude, I don't have you on live.
You don't? I'm on my regular one.
Are you on?
Yeah, but I'm not getting a feed here.
How are you, young man?
I'm well.
Good to see you.
People are seeing it. Liz Clark is on.
Really?
Liz Clark gives a shout out to Al.
That's,
wait, here you are.
that's my Liz.
See?
It's so weird. Why isn't it
DJ
telling me
Liz.
here?
May I?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, you could
Use the small.
take mine out.
Oh,
There you go. Oh, here you go. Use this.
That's
Use
what
mine.
she said.
I'm on the small side. That's what she said.
Yeah.
That was the Ditka spot.
I know you were busy this weekend. Did you get a chance to watch any football?
Yeah, you know what? In the dressing room, in the green room, right before I went on stage, and then when I got off stage, so I saw some of the Dallas and I saw some of the Steelers.
So you don't mind if we continue talking about
Please,
football?
yeah, absolutely. You're kidding me?
And then we're going to talk about the
You
magic
got
card.
3 minutes.
Jonathan Scott in the building.
The magic
30
card.
days till pitches and catches.
Nice. Favorite time of season?
Depends on what neighborhood you're in.
Chris Sale, baby.
2 weeks to Sox, take all the stuff
Chris
down.
Sale and David Price at the top of the rotation.
And poor Sox.
Woo! No Poppy though.
Sandoval's eventually gonna be back.
Huh? I heard about that. I hate that guy.
I'm not a fan of him,
Pablo
but
Sandoval.
Oh, yeah.
the guy's dropped half a
No
person,
heart.
so we'll see.
What?
The guy's dropped like half a person.
I understand that, but he just doesn't have heart. Like
Oh, I know.
he's not a guy you want.
Because you got to have heart. Miles and miles and miles of heart.
Took the money and run.
Surprised for Joy didn't kick his ass.
He just might.
Dude, Pete, you don't fuck around with Pedroia.
Sandoval would eat him.
Dude, Pedroia will kill that guy. He's like a, what do they call him?
Badger.
Honey badger.
Hi, everybody.
He's a red ass.
He is.
Oh yeah, no question. Like Randy Johnson's school of red ass.
Yeah. Knock it off.
Oh yeah.
Remember walking in New York?
Yeah, I love it.
And that guy's not quite Euclid, but he's on the Randy Johnson level.
What do you mean Euclid?
Euclid was a psychopath.
In what way?
As far as being an angry guy?
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
I know his uncle, I know his father, Ed Euclid.
Yeah, complete red ass.
Huh.
He used to drive people nuts. He was so angry all the time. All right, 10 seconds, guys. Boy, I hope this works.
You're listening to Sports 920, the game.
The game.
Up.
That's the number king.
I don't want you just speaking on the air, you know? I got you. You got any more?
Later.
Let's read.
All right, Jonathan's got back with Vegas thoughts. stuff.
Wait a
That's the
second. What
sexiest we're gonna get in the
That's our
afternoon.
computers.
That's the sexiest we're gonna get on a Monday afternoon. And of course, it was Albie Short Night and Day. What year did that come out?
Oh boy.
87?
88, December of 1980. That
And
was a
it-
good year.
And yeah, and now your son is doing a remix on that, right?
Oh yeah, we just did an incredible. We call it "How I Feel About You," Night and Day 2.0.
How I feel about you, Night.
An incredible job. He did an incredible job, and very proud of him. And we made it into his own. But it was, oh man,
I haven't heard of it. Is it on YouTube or?
not yet. Not yet.
No, it
We're
hasn't
about to
been
release
released
it. We just shot the video and the whole bit, so it's. I'm
I
excited.
gotta tell you, I mean, I saw your son in the show Star. We were talking about it before you got here. He's a clone.
Oh boy,
He looks just like you.
oh boy, that's why I had to lose all the weight.
So the name of the show is Star. It's on Fox. I think it's on episode 3 now.
Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Executive producer Lee Daniels of Empire. Guess what? You know, I like doing things and coming in number 1. So, you know, I'm living vicariously. But I said, listen, it came in number 2 behind Blackish. So
Wow.
that wasn't bad. I mean,
Not at all.
Think about it. A brand new show
I was gonna say, there are only two shows into the
I'm
season,
gonna do a
right?
show called Jewish.
Jewish.
With us,
You know,
LB Schwartz.
Yeah, I'll be Schwartz, exactly.
That's great. We should do a show called Jewish.
So we talked about the Saturday games. We haven't gotten into the Sunday games yet. We did a little
We
bit.
spoke a little bit about the Pittsburgh game. Al, I don't know if you got a chance to see, but after the Pittsburgh win, in the locker room,
Facebook Live.
Mr. Antonio Brown, Facebook Live,
Meet the Browns.
unbelievable. like I never played professional sports, but I did play organized sports growing up. You know, the locker room is kind of a sacred place.
Absolutely.
And what we say and what we do in the locker room stays in the locker room. It's not for public knowledge or ears. I thought that was a real invasion of privacy, and I don't know, it didn't sit well with me at all.
You know, I think at times, you know, obviously, in the locker room, there's a brotherhood.
Yes.
In addition to, there's that, what do you call it, like the blue wall, or what have you, whatever color it is, you know, let's say the black and gold wall.
The fourth wall.
And,
Breaking that fourth wall.
You know, and there's that privacy amongst the brotherhood that,
Absolutely.
that, you know, let's march forward, let's get this thing together, let's win, let's get the championship. And then some things are said, you know, within the locker room
That are meant for the locker room.
that should be clearly part of the motivation for the team. So yeah, it's you know, and then you have your jokesters and your personalities and things of that nature. So it's kind of a fine line. You know?
If you're Mike Tomlin today, and you didn't know that he had Facebook Live going, and these people heard what you said,
He knows now.
You are out of control.
even though he's your number one player, you got to pull him aside and say, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Very
Who
gently.
was it?
Very
Who-
gently.
who went live?
Antonio Brown.
And what did he show?
It was a 17-minute clip that he went live with.
Wow.
By the way, there's some dude standing naked with their ass cheeks flapping in the locker room. So now, if you didn't want your ass on Facebook Live, too late for that.
My ass is on
I believe
Facebook Live
some
all
of
the
them
time.
do. I mean, think about
I'm
it.
just saying, like, come on. At least, you know what? There's no way Coach had any idea that he was doing this because
Really?
he was on the other side of the locker room, and all you heard was his voice.
You know what? I have an interesting question. Is there a fine for that?
Yes. The rule is, and I read up on it today before I came on, was the NFL says that 90 minutes prior and 90 minutes post game, you're not allowed to be on social media.
Okay. Wow, so that must be the software related to the NFL, because I know obviously, most of the major leagues went through the maturation process of making sure the players have a certain dress code. I mean, all these new things have been.
Oh, it's
over the
ridiculous.
years.
It's ridiculous.
2 weeks ago, you got fined for not wearing a tie. Right? Who was it got fined for not wearing a tie?
Oh, no, Cam Newton got benched. Ron Rivera benched Cam Newton for not wearing a tie on the team's bus or plane. And by the way, I don't have a problem with that.
Right, the only thing that
I don't have a problem with that.
Right, and I don't as well. The only thing that I would say is, I would enjoy seeing, because I love seeing these young men who are, obviously, the income bracket has changed, the tax bracket has changed, all these things. I would love-
Exponentially.
When you go to work, I want to see you dressed up. I mean, I'm like that way in music. So when I see some of the kids with the pants hanging down, you know, I want to stick my finger in the back of the
I
throat.
agree.
It's like, come on, let's get it together. Let's get dressed up. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little Tom Ford.
Yeah.
You know.
If the coach has a rule that you wear a tie while you're traveling, then you wear a tie while you're traveling. Period.
I have a great photo, you know, I'm a Bears fan, you know, from Chicago, of Walter Payton fooling around with Matt Suey and during a rehearsal, and he was taking a snap, and he did exactly that. He pulled his pants down with his finger. I've got the photo.
At least he didn't walk in with his pants.
I got a great
Well,
photo.
in addition to sort of breaking an unspoken a rule, a code of the locker room, you just gave the New England Patriots a little bulletin board material that you didn't really need to give them.
That's what she said.
And if Tom wasn't already pissed off, wait till he, you know,
But you know what? That's something you don't do to Tom Brady
and Bill Belichick.
and Bill Gates.
Yeah. Tomlin says we got to go up and see those a-holes next week and play them in Foxborough, and we already spotted them a day and a half because they played yesterday and we got switched to late night.
Well, you know what the coach is going to do. He's going to just point. Yeah. Okay, we've got to play better. We're going to make sure. Okay. All right. Next. Okay, thank you for coming out. God bless tonight. And then he wins. What can you say?
Well, I said to these guys before you came on, I said they played probably their worst game of the year this weekend and still covered a 16-point
still
spread.
made it look sexy. Isn't that great?
And we just thought that you actually were born in Boston.
You know what?
We knew that.
Absolutely.
We've talked.
But I grew up in New York, so I'm having this kind of gang moment. So when I'm around the guys, you know, New Edition or Bobby Brown or New Kids, what happens is, you know, I was born there in Boston, but I grew up in, you know, New York, Mount Vernon.
Vernon?
And so I have my Yankee cap on, so you know I get mess from them.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
Really, it's like, oh, cool.
Bobby's a Boston boy, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cambridge, you know, so
Lynn.
there you go. There you go, brother.
My mom, I grew up in Brooklyn. My mom and dad lived in Porter Square for years. We used to play Origin Latin all the time.
Wow.
That's when Patrick Ewing was there.
Yeah, absolutely, New York. But anyway, first of all, big shout out to New Edition. Number one, next week they're getting their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Do you have yours?
Not yet.
I think we need to get yours.
Yeah, well, you know, I got some more work to do. I'm on that Quincy Jones mission. So I have,
You know how that works, right?
Yeah.
Buy it. Albie
I
Schwartz.
wanna earn it.
Albie Schwartz.
That's how Trump got his.
What?
And they have
That's how
and they
Trump
have-
got his.
That Trump did?
And you know, and I wanted to say that because I always have to give a big shout out to them because New Edition, you know, with Ralph, Johnny, Ricky, Mike, Bobby, you know, they gave me my start on tour. So we did I think it was the second highest grossing tour of that year behind Michael Jackson. Big shout out to Al Heyman, thank you. And that was my first tour, the Any Heartbreak tour. We did Madison Square Garden 4 nights. We did all of the big arenas 4 nights and 5 nights, and it was an amazing tour. But they gave me my first start. Now they have finally their stories being told on BET from the 24th to the 27th of January. It's called The New Edition Story. And I love the guy they casted to play me. You gotta see it.
Oh, is it your son?
No.
They should have cast him. He
I was
looks
gonna
just like
say,
it.
that would have been a kind of an easy casting, right?
Absolutely.
Shout out to DJ Liz Clark.
DJ
Fan of the
Liz
show,
Clark.
fan of
Oh,
ours,
yeah.
and we're a fan of hers as well. Tell us about how did the Magic Garden, how did that come about?
I don't know about the Magic Garden.
Secret
I
Garden?
know about the Secret
I always mix them
Ah.
up. The Secret Garden, Magic, to me it's the same thing. It's a secret
Absolutely.
Magic Garden.
Absolutely. Let us, what goes on in the garden
secret.
It's up on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Nobody did that. Al invited me over to the house to watch the Star show with his son the other day, and talk about security. You're pretty safe in there.
Oh, man.
You are pretty safe. I thought I was okay at the Las Vegas Country Club. That doesn't mean anything. You got to go through checkpoint. Checkpoint Charlie 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, the security there is quite amazing, and I love them. They're family.
I told him Magic Secret Card.
They're giving away their fast.
All right, we're going to take another commercial break. Bobby just told me the clock on the wall said it's time to take another commercial break. You're listening to Vegas Non-Stop on KBEN 20 AM. Be right back.
That was fun.
The Magic Secret Garden. The Secret Magic Garden.
Hey,
Secret
just,
Magic Garden. Woo!
I adjusted your lines on your paper.
Yes.
You should have 5 and 60 and a half, and 5 and a half and 50 and a half.
60 and a half points.
You know how you feel about those, John?
I got to take the under, but you steered me right on that under on the Steeler game at 44 and a half. I would have taken the over.
I know.
And we hit that under.
Easy. It was never even close.
Oh, I know.
6 field goals by the Steelers when they win the game. I feel bad for Alex Smith, man. Those guys are dropping so many balls.
Yeah. That's the history of the Chiefs, though.
They're dropping more balls than they are in Pahrump.
He's such a talent.
He is. He really is.
He's a bit of a jerk off though sometimes. Like after the game,
Who?
Travis Kelce, the tight end for.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about Alex Smith.
Dude, he's all about me,
Yeah.
me. Look
Yeah.
at me. Never met a Mike he didn't like.
I got the cut.
Of what? After the game?
Yeah.
Is it radio friendly?
Yeah, no, it's beef. Yeah. Give me a second to figure out.
Well, you know, once he did the reality show.
Did everyone even watch it?
I guess
What reality?
I was gonna say I never saw it.
I mean,
I heard about it.
weren't babes just fawning over him? Was it one of those, like a bachelorette type thing? Or was
I want to see Snoop Dogg's cooking show.
With Martha Stewart.
Dogg.
I watched it the other night with
Did you watch it? Was it
Gino.
funny?
Gino and I watched it.
Was it funny?
So they're cooking lobster,
Yeah.
and they bring out the lobster, and no one wants to touch the lobsters. It was Snoop. It was another girl. I don't think it was DJ.
See, we gotta
Khaled,
do
it was
that.
someone else. And no one wanted to touch the live
Let's
lobsters.
bring some chefs
It
over
was
to Al's house.
Huh?
Let's bring some chefs
Yeah,
over to
we're
your
That's it.
house.
Bring it in. Bring yourself over. Okay.
What?
I'm gonna play the Kells cut coming back.
Coming out of it? Oh, that'd be great. So Kelsey's had a nice little rant after the game that Bobby's going to play coming into the next,
Okay.
so we can comment on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we should do a
rip the
cooking
hell
show
out of the
with
reps
us, man.
afterwards.
Let's do it. And no, and first
Cooking
of all,
with Al.
No. Charlie Brown. Let me tell you something. I think I know, how to burn a little here and there, and so forth. But man, I'm about to contact somebody from the Food Network. This one.
Oh, yeah?
I've been eating healthy, and but everything looks like I'm at Emerald's.
Well, we want to do a show called Vegas Dinner Party.
Well, guess what? Let's do it.
And we do
Yeah.
local celebrities and local chefs
Let's do
coming
it.
together to do and cook in
Let's
the
do it at
kitchen.
the house.
Dude, Gino will go crazy with that.
It's got a beautiful home.
I hear security's pretty good.
Oh boy.
Once you get past security.
Then you go past another security.
Checkpoint Charlie 1, 2, 3, and 4. and Snickers bars.
That's for our assistant. Like we have, it's funny. We have 2 assistants, so there's a shelf very special because they always are amazing. These young people who are like try to motivate, they're always amazing. So anytime we're out shopping or doing anything, grocery shopping, whatever, we always have to get something. So let's say we see a silly hat that Aaron likes, the way we get him a hat with the eyes on it, or there's Reese's peanut butter cups that one likes, so it's always things. So we have to always bring something on the shelf. So they always look forward to coming over. It's like, what is on the shelf today? A new pair of slippers.
That's funny.
I got to try that new thing that we got for Christmas.
Oh, did he bring? Oh, did you try that?
I tried it at the end, yeah.
How is it?
The VR?
You didn't try it? Yeah,
I didn't try it.
Way cool. It was like endangered species stuff. And you're like, have you tried it, bro?
I'm supposed to get one because I bought
Oh,
a new
man, it's
phone
like-
and I didn't get it from you.
Sports 920, the game.
The
You fight
game.
all year, you fight all game, for it to end like that, with the ref literally taking it out of our hands, that hurts. We try and play this game with integrity and to the end of the whistle, and when refs want to take over the game and make it their own platform, there's nothing you can do about it. That wasn't a hold on my guy Eric Fisher, and sure enough, I hope 7-2 doesn't go the entire offseason thinking it was his fault. That was flat out, and from there, we'll go into the next season and try not to let it get in the refs' hands, but they're the ones controlling the game. This is the most bitter loss you've ever. I mean, it sucks. This sucks. There's an unbelievable play called last drives. Alex just drove us down there, fourth down after fourth down, making plays, the momentum's getting on our side, and then just get our jugulars ripped out because the ref felt bad for James Harrison falling on the ground. It's ignorance. The ref number 51 shouldn't even be able to wear a zebra jersey ever again. He shouldn't even be able to work Foot Locker.
Zebra jersey, I love it.
Wow. I mean, listen, I'm the first one to say that the NFL reffing situation is not great, that these guys miss a lot of calls. I saw a ton of them in the Green Bay Dallas game yesterday, like an obvious PI where the guy ripped his shoulder pad out of the jersey and there's no whistle. And obviously Travis Kelce, the tight end for the Chiefs, very upset after the game. And listen, you're in that moment after the game where that loss is still burning inside of you. And I can understand him feeling that way.
Gee, let me ask you this though. I mean, I know the thing about the NFL is you could call holding on almost every play.
Right.
But now, did you see a penalty on that play? Was it a penalty?
I think it was 50-50, and a lot of people will tell you that the refs wanted Pittsburgh to win that game. They wanted to see Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship with New England. A lot of people thought that when they changed the time of the game, and that they didn't think that was fair either.
Well, I think that all of the referees should just lift weights in the gym and be distracted so that when they look good and nobody's paying attention to the call.
And then you can't second guess them because
That's right, because you might get one in the grill. Right.
You know, all the major networks that are broadcasting NFL right now, they usually have a retired ref from the NFL that helped them call. I think Ed Pereira is one of them.
Right.
Mike
Mike Pereira. Forget. And Mike came up with a very good point, actually. He said when he was in the league and he was overseeing a lot of this, he liked having the same guys travel together in teams so they work together. And apparently the NFL isn't doing that anymore.
Right.
And I think we should go back
So
to that.
what is it, a seniority thing now? Like, whoever worked the most Super Bowls or what have
I
you?
don't even know how they choose now, but I like the idea of working in teams, right? Because if the five of us started working together and we're officiating every game together.
We can complete each other's sentences.
Exactly.
And Al, what they do is they advance on merit individually, and so you're going to wind up this season with pockets that haven't worked together, and so you don't know really who's covering what, where you and as opposed to being used to.
So there's not necessarily a synergy there.
How do they decide? I heard them talking about the refs that are going to be the refs for the Super Bowl.
Again, I think it's on merit. There's a scoring. You have to have been in the league a certain amount of years, had a certain number of games under your belt before you get to do like an AFC Championship or a Super Bowl.
And minimal recent goofs. I think a lot is taken into account.
I want to plug Rob a little bit in case you don't know who he is, Rob Mish. Rob's an author, a sports writer. He wrote a book called The Last Natural about Bryce Harper. Next, he wrote 11th Heaven, the Ed O'Banion story about UCLA and that whole story. And then most recently, Of Cowards and True Men, the life of Kenny Adams.
Longtime boxing trainer, fabulous guy. Just a fable is what he is. He's awesome.
I love the Ed O'Banion story that you talk about when all your notes got lost.
Oh my God!
Computer.
How do you give that short, abridged version? Basically, I covered UCLA throughout the 90s, and in 94, 95, they started off very well. It looked really good. Ed O'Bannon, Charles O'Bannon, just Toby Bailey, J.R. Henderson. They had an incredible crew. They got out of the starting gates well. Halfway during the season, it was early January, I talked to Jim Herrick after a practice, and I said, Jim, if this goes a certain way, would you contribute to a book about this season if it goes a certain way? I didn't want to jinx him and say winning it all. And he looked at me and he goes, "Man, you don't need me for that." And I said, "Well, no. Afterward, I would need a lot of input from you, reviewing a lot of stuff." And he shook my hand and he goes, "Okay." So from then on, for a few months, I'm going over and above the Call of Duty to gather stuff for my daily job because I'm compiling stuff for a book. I mean, I'm going deep dive on how everybody got there. And so let's flash forward to Seattle. They win it all. We come back from Seattle to Pauley Pavilion, and there's a celebration for all the students and teachers and players. We're at Pauley Pavilion, and I have the Final Four media gift was a black equipment bag, computer bag.
Right.
That, for the first time, enabled me to put everything regarding the book in one place.
Right.
All of my tapes, all of my notes, pads and pads of notes, my computer, all my contact information for publishers, agents, kids' parents' phone numbers. Everything was in this Final Four bag, and on the side of that Final Four bag was the Seattle Final Four logo. Colorful, brilliant. So I go into Pauley Pavilion for this last deal, this last celebration, sit down at the media table, the whole thing goes on, it transpires. I leave the media table for 2 minutes to talk to Ed O'Bannon and just get a couple comments about this capper to the entire season. I come back and someone had ripped off the bag. And everything regarding the book was in there.
Wow.
I took off like a madman on that campus, and thank God I didn't find the guy. But if I saw that guy today, I would give him the biggest hug, and I'd take him out to lunch, because he did me a favor.
You're gonna start all over.
I was not ready to do a book at that time, and to do that book with one under the belt, with the Bryce Harper book,
Yeah.
was priceless. And
Yeah,
so what that meant was I did the 11th Heaven book about UCLA. I did it the right way.
Yeah.
And long after the fact.
Absolutely, and it came out on the 20th anniversary of that championship
Oh, wow.
team. So it worked out perfectly, you know.
Things always do.
I don't know who's looking down from above with the karma thing, but man, it's tough not to believe
I
it.
have a friend named Sonny Cool, part of the People Parliament family. He says, Johnny, the universe don't make no mistakes.
Yeah. But you got me here, Jonathan, to talk about the Packers, and I gotta
did.
tell you, I felt like a 7-year-old yesterday. I have to watch Packer games alone. There can be nobody in the room.
Well, that's how we were with the Cubs.
Because I need to control what's going on. If they're doing bad, I need to switch the channel so that they start doing well. And what I do is I chew on the top collar of my shirt. I went through 3 shirts yesterday.
That was a 3-shirt day.
Yeah, and
That,
see,
that has to go down as one of the top 5 playoff games of all time.
it's deeper than that because obviously I'm from Milwaukee. I was born and raised with the Packers.
Where you can smell the fresh dairy air.
Exactly. My late father was at the Ice Bowl, so in my office, I have his 2 shares of the team neatly framed
Yeah.
above my 2 shares of the team, which are not neatly framed. And so it's just so deeper with that team being publicly owned and the whole story with that team. It's in your blood, and I don't mean to get too sappy about it,
No,
but
this is great.
it's really,
Aaron
really,
Rodgers on fire.
you know,
It
I
was,
thought,
it was a nail biter.
Yeah, it
You know,
was-
from
it was-
beginning to end. I mean, because when you saw, how it transpired and the slow start,
Yeah.
you were like, oh, this doesn't look good.
well, it looked great for the Packers.
Yeah, it looked great for the Packers in Dallas, and because just the expectation was, okay. And I think in a very simple, scenario, it just looked as though Dallas lost their identity.
Couldn't agree with you more.
What got them there is Zeke running it
Right.
down your throat.
Thank you.
Right.
And here they are on 3rd and 2 going
You
shotgun.
can't stop me because I'm young, my legs are fresh, I'm going to run you over, there's nothing you can do about it, LeBron James. So
Yes.
so Ezekiel Elliott is LeBron James
I
to me
don't
at
know
this point.
if in any one football season you can give an award for Coach of the Year and have him get fired.
Oh,
I'm not kidding.
Right.
Jason Garrett coached an unbelievably horrible game yesterday, from play calling to time management.
Oh, yeah.
Inside of 30 seconds, you don't give Aaron Rodgers
No.
any time on the clock. The one guy you don't give it.
And then
is-
when you have a Tonka truck
yeah,
on the line and you're throwing the ball.
yeah,
Mm.
I know.
Kind of reminds me of Seattle Super Bowl. last-
Butler
Yeah,
did it.
right.
The Butler did it.
Beast mode. Hey, just give it to him. Just run it in. And let's win this whole thing and go home.
In that game, we saw an 18-point second-half comeback and 3 50-plus yard field goals inside of 2 minutes.
Actually, 4.
With
Mason,
an
Mason
iceberg.
got iced and made it.
With an iceberg.
Oh, yes, that's true. And the second one was iffy.
Oh, it sure
It
was.
It was a knuckler down the left
It sure
side of the
was.
pole, and it just eked its way in. I
It sure
couldn't
was.
believe it.
And I got to tell you, though, in recent years, that's a game Green Bay loses. And as decimated as that defense was, for them to come away with that victory, I mean, to me, it felt like a Super Bowl win. The whole last 2 months, to me, feels like unbelievable, just
So
absolutely
I have
unbelievable.
a question then. Is he now considered, is Aaron Rodgers now considered the threat? Because when you can say, the guy from the Patriots.
What do you mean, the guy from the Patriots?
That guy.
The deflated balls.
His
When-
friends
when-
call him
no,
Thomas.
When Thomas is in the game, it does not matter if you're losing by 30 and there's 2 minutes left. There's a possibility
Correct.
that they will come back.
Correct.
He's that much of a threat.
Yes.
Is now
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers within
He's in
that
that.
category.
He's in that conversation.
What do you think about that last catch?
How about the throw?
The throw
He's
was
running
spot on.
sideways across his body
To his left.
to his left. Most quarterbacks are putting that in the first row of the stands.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's going 40 yards.
And he puts it in the only place
Yeah.
where this guy could catch it, and he does a little ballet two-step.
On his knees.
It's just.
And I don't think Rodgers, I haven't seen the replay, but I think both feet were off the ground when the one he released.
Rodgers feet?
It's ridiculous.
No, I don't think so.
I enjoy seeing Rodgers. There was a news clip somewhere, and Rodgers just said, "Relax."
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
that was from 2 years ago.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And to come through with that,
right.
that's a different story.
And he predicted this run
I
too.
don't know if I've seen a quarterback play at this level for 8 consecutive weeks.
Yeah,
I mean, they have put up 30 or more points, I think, in 7 of the 8.
yeah.
His quarterback rating is about a 127.
So
You know what
is he having the Michael Jordan effect as it relates to? Because I don't see a whole superstar team surrounding him,
Sure.
but for
He's-
some reason he's making everyone better.
Seems
He's
so.
actually missing his
Or
superstar.
motivated,
Jody
right.
Nelson didn't play yesterday.
Exactly. That's incredible. You know, I
Clay
heard
Matthews isn't at 100%.
I
They
heard-
have no running game. There is no Eddie Lacy or anyone back there.
I heard a great statistic on Dan Patrick's show today. You know what number 12's quarterback rating is in the pocket? It's at low 90s.
Outside.
Do you know what his rating is outside the pocket when he's scrambling? A perfect 158.
Oh, boy.
That's crazy.
And that's what I say about Rodgers, because obviously he has an incredible arm with accuracy. Watch his feet.
Yeah.
They never stop moving.
Right.
He's up, he's back, he's side, he's here, he's over there. If he sees a hole, he'll take it himself, because he can run upfield and pick up 8-10 yards like that, or he'll just zip it for 12.
Something significant that I heard, that obviously when you have your drawn up plays and your scheme and your plan going forward, how effective is this guy when you have to go outside the scheme?
Right.
He's just as effective as the play call scheme.
Right.
Actually, according to Rob, even more so, right? If he's
Right.
outside the pocket scrambling, he's even more accurate, more deadly.
And that play yesterday, the 40-yard pass, that was not scripted. It was just, hey, everybody run for a corner like street ball, like get behind the VW bug.
It was like a few weeks ago in overtime, it was against Detroit where he hit Jordy for 60.
Right.
Man.
Is Jordy coming back?
No.
He might.
Hold on. He's got 2 broken ribs. I don't think he could play this week,
Right.
but he'll then have 2 weeks off. I think he could play the Super Bowl if they beat Atlanta, and we could talk about that in the last segment because
Well-
this weekend's games are ridiculous.
We got a couple of minutes, but we can get into it a little bit
Am
now.
I wrong? I have one quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a lot of helmet to rib or helmet to helmet things going on? I mean, is that like
That's actually a foul. That actually should have been a
Oh,
penalty.
absolutely. But,
Which
but
one?
I'm just saying, it just seems like that's almost every hit
Jordy,
now.
the helmet in the ribs,
Why?
because he led with the crown of his helmet. It should have
Well,
been a
it
penalty.
seems like that's a lot of the hits that are going on
Yeah.
lately. And I think the players clearly know the rules, but I think it's, crunch time. It's like,
Right.
let's get this guy out of here.
Adrenaline going, heck yeah.
We're going to take our last commercial break. You're listening to Vegas Nonstop here on KBAD 920 AM. Stay right where you are.
Tired of being the trash police?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're going in, man. They're
Woo!
like, okay, let's.
those guys have nerves of steel.
Yep.
I thought you got 5 guys that are 280 pounds coming at you full tilt.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, that guy, let me look over
Hey,
here.
you know what though? Along those lines, and Al along that line, did you see the national title game, Clemson, Alabama?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I saw some of it. Yeah, I saw some of it.
Well, I'm asking Al and these guys about the Alabama Clemson national title game. Something stuck.
Unreal. Clemson on the money line.
Something stuck out to me in that game, and I wonder if you guys heard this. From the first hit of that game, I thought, my God, this is one vicious game. Those guys were hitting
Hard.
like beyond men.
It was like they all would, had an opportunity to
Right.
be in the draft.
right on the
Well,
stage.
remember,
Well, that's it.
Clemson
That's
sat
what
for
they're
a
known for,
year,
so.
seething after
Yeah,
last
right,
year's
right,
loss.
right.
They were junkyard dogs.
Right.
I had.
So what do you
I
think?
had-
Is it gonna be a rubber game next year?
And being in
What's that?
Tampa this weekend. And being in Tampa this weekend, they were just telling me all about
Oh,
how
the
the police
stories.
brigades and this, and it was just like it was like the Super Bowl. It was
Yeah.
like pandemonium.
I bet.
So now it's Bama 1, Clemson 1. Think you're gonna go for a rematch next year?
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to have Deshaun there or some of those other players.
I mean, isn't that the Bama Invitational?
Pretty much.
There should just be a mini tournament to see who
awful.
plays Bama.
I hate
Hey,
it.
Rob, by the way, how do
I
you
hate
spell
it.
your last name?
M-I-E-C-H?
M-I-E-C.
But it sounds like Michigan.
Just
Mish.
for the podcast things.
Okay.
I'm Jeffrey with a G.
I know what he's that. You are.
So your notebook, your
And he's
no
Jonathan
project right
Burnett,
now?
I know.
Magazine
One
stuff, long
Yeah, but he's an
magazine
A.
So you
stuff.
still with 7?
Yeah, one-
Still
one
ready for
H.
7?
Yeah, I got something coming out on the Super Bowl
But
issue.
2 A's. That's what's
Well,
weird.
Mel and I are going to Houston.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah, but they're going to be there before
Let's
the
do
Super Bowl. How about Packers Patriots 20-year reunion?
I love it. I love it. Especially.
Except Desmond doesn't run it back 99
Except,
yards
no,
this year.
no, they're
The
bringing it
Loomis
back.
goes in,
No, I'm sorry.
and you're going down.
No, they're bringing Desmond back.
How are we doing on questions?
Oh my
Anything?
God.
Can I answer anything? Cheryl
14
Overton,
point
hello,
favorites.
hello.
A push.
Allison, hello.
13.
And
Guinness,
we'll play
hello.
21 final.
Ouch, I always do that.
That game was a push. It was 14.
I'm gonna play that
Gotta
Rodgers
file
cut
these
coming
things
back.
down.
45, 21?
Usually hit this one.
And I'm gonna play the Rogers cut coming back, the one where he's talking about originally running the table.
Yeah, that's
6
beautiful.
weeks
Oh, from the first one,
Running the table.
6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago.
Al, there should be a hat. Al, relax and running the table.
And let's talk about this coming weekend.
Well, look at when they were in October, they're
Yeah,
like
we
2
gotta
and
talk
4 or
about
something like
that.
that.
How much time
They
do
were
we have
4 and
coming out?
6.
1 minute.
No, how much time do we have coming out afterwards?
Ooh, give me a second.
Like 5 minutes?
About 6 before the music starts.
And we can talk about this weekend's games?
And you know, and if we have time, if you guys don't mind, I'd love to ask Al one question.
Ooh.
Okay.
You're gonna leave us in suspense until then. Okay.
Packers, Patriots.
Big dogs. I gotta do my big dog spot.
Arr, arr.
Ooh, let the dogs out.
That was
And
Brett
they're pretty
Favre's
happy
thing, right?
about Green Bay Packers.
You think?
Oh, of course.
The Packers place to watch.
Now
Neighborhood
they're
bar, the rum runner.
Packer backers.
Yeah, rum runner, man.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl
the old
30.
neighborhood bar back in Trop Easter.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Packer bar too. Packer and Wisconsin bar.
And our wine club, beer, wine,
All right, that should pretty much take us up to the end.
Weed.
Good job.
our new weed club, Weed of the Month
Far
club.
through a Super Bowl record 81-yard touchdown to Antonio.
Oh, now you got my attention.
Was it
Good
called
job.
420
Fine.
exclusive?
Yeah.
Patriots had those old helmets.
Okay.
Purple
The
Haze.
Patriots became the first team in Super Bowl history
Purple
to
Haze
score 14
Weed
points in
Club.
the first quarter.
Okay, this is Rogers.
Coming live.
There was something, I think, in the locker room that I felt and I saw that made me feel like saying, I think we could run the table. Can't run the table if you don't win today. So we're fortunate to get this one today. We're back to 500. Obviously, would have appreciated a little help from the Saints, but we still have a lot of things in front of us. We got a very good opponent coming in next week.
Kudos, Bobby. Very good.
John Scott with Vegas Nonstop. We're back with Vegas Nonstop with our guest. Yeah, be sure. Rob Bish, my co-host for the last 200 years. Jeffrey with a G. And if you're a Packer fan and you want to watch next week, we suggest you go to Big Dogs Brewing Company at Rancho and Craig, where they have football season specials all through the game. 2-for-1 growler fills on football Sundays and weekly gift cards. $3 leg lifter pints, $3 craft lagers. And on the 28th, Saturday the 28th, is the Winterfest Beer Fest. No charge, no cover, live music all day. Over 45 craft beers, plenty of Wisconsin food, cheese curds, Wisconsin walleye, and they've got stews and brews. So that's going to be at the 28th, Saturday 28th, save the date, at Big Dogs. And we want to talk a little bit about Sunday's game, but Rob, you've got a question for Albie.
Yeah, Al, real quick question. It's probably redundant. You've probably heard it a million times. I'm just curious. What was the one instigator when you were a kid or whenever this hit you to get into your career? Was it an artist, a specific song? What was the linchpin that really turned you into wanting to do this?
I don't really want to say Lynch.
No, I tell you, my mother managed a dental office on the Grand Concourse in the Bronx. The clients there were some of the Yankees, Knicks, the Rangers, you know. This when I met
Going back to dentistry?
dentistry. Check this out.
It's like the theme of the day.
I know, yeah, oh boy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's the note came wearing off. And I remember that's the first time I met Phil Jackson. He was sitting me on the knee and doing the whole, you know, hey little kid. But long story short, my mother was given some tickets to a concert at Madison Square Garden. The manager wasn't able to make it, so it was a surprise.
How old were you?
My mom takes me to the concert. We was right up front in the center.
How old are you?
I'm 9 or 10 years old, and the music is going, the lights, and these guys come out on the stage, and then this one guy comes and dances, and it's almost like he was floating across the stage, and my mother said that I looked up, and tears started just to go down my face. She said I was frozen. I didn't move for 10 minutes, and tears were just going down my mouth. I was frozen. It was Michael Jackson, the Jackson Five. And at that point, I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I read, and I didn't know that you were VP at Motown.
Yeah, thank you.
In artist development.
Yeah. Wow, it was an amazing, just being in that building and under the tutelage of, you know, obviously Quincy Jones and, you know, the Berry Gordy's. And so Andre Harrell, we used to call me Baby Quincy Jones, and I called him Baby Berry Gordy. So, and part of the original, when we did Uptown Records with Mary J. Blige and Guy and Al Shore and all those amazing, you know, the roster in one place, we were only attempting to be the boutique version of Motown.
And was that in L.A.?
New York and LA.
New York and LA. So you and I are going to Houston together you've got a corporate engagement on the 1st, and then we're going to go bowling with Eric Wright during the day on the 2nd,
Wow.
and then we're going to hang out with my friend Franco Harris.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of that guy.
Which I love his statue in the airport. Every time I go
I've
through
never seen the statue.
he has an amazing.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah, he's like this, and he's running the ball, and as soon as you come down the fairway, he's standing right there.
The
He's
immaculate
one of-
reception.
That's
He's one of the
heroes.
nicest guys in the world. And so the whole family's great, Moana and Thor. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. But let's talk a little bit, if we can. Atlanta now -5, over and under 60.5. Jeffrey with a G.
I don't know if I've ever seen a total of 60.5 in any playoff game, but if there is one game where it should be this high, it should be these two teams. I mean, we were talking earlier, Green Bay putting up 30-plus points a game over the last 7 weeks. Atlanta had the highest scoring offense in football this year.
And they blew the doors off when they played each other this season.
Oh, yeah.
Taking the over?
I would.
I would too.
You're taking it over?
Yeah.
You're going to take Green Bay +5.
No.
I don't know how
I
you don't
recuse
take-
myself from that. I would take the over and just the over. Yeah.
I'm
I got-
taking Green Bay and the over. And I'll tell people out there, just like I did with Clemson, throw some money on the money line, +175. You're going to get almost 2 to 1 on your money. I don't know how you can go against Aaron Rodgers right now.
Is this a situation where the universe takes a hiccup?
Sure.
I don't know. Do you like the Packers +5, Al?
You know what? I do. I just think that Aaron Rodgers is such a force to be reckoned with. But there's always that day. It's kind of like when my Giants would play Dallas.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Big shout out to
Why you
Jamie
got to
Foxx.
bring up the Giants?
That's my
Jamie Foxx, that's right.
Patriots fans, that's like kryptonite.
I know exactly.
And Gianni Russo in any given Sunday. New England Patriots, Jeffrey with a G, 5.5, -5.5, over and under 51 against Pittsburgh.
This is such a tough game for me because obviously my heart's in it, so I can't think as unbiasedly as I normally would. But I think I have to go with New England here. Didn't like what I saw out of Pittsburgh this week, not getting a touchdown. They definitely gave them some bulletin board material with that ridiculous Facebook Live. Brady got his ass kicked last week physically by the Houston Texans, and I think that O-line is going to come to play and protect him and give him time to throw. And as I was telling our good friend Rob here before the show, the combination of Dion Lewis and LeGarrette Blount in the backfield now gives them a look that most teams haven't seen because Dion Lewis just came back from the pup list a few weeks ago.
Jeffrey taking the Patriots? That's
Shocking,
strange.
I know.
And I'll see you in Houston, sir.
Well, how about this? Now, is anyone familiar with the health of the big guy?
Ben Roethlisberger?
No,
Yeah, no, he got hurt.
the Patriots. The big
Brady?
guy.
Gronk?
Brady.
No,
Oh,
Brady's fine.
Brady's fine.
Don't worry about
Brady
Brady.
doesn't take a beating like that from anyone. He
Agreed.
He makes it look good.
Agreed.
He still looks like a model.
He-
But he took a beating.
Is everybody taking the Patriots?
He was pissed off. I'll tell you this. I haven't seen him that angry after a win in a long,
So you say
long
don't
time.
piss Brady off then.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
And he's already been pissed off all year with that suspension. This one's going to be for Roger.
He loves
Rob,
to,
Patriots?
he loves to whine, doesn't he?
Whine about what?
Brady's the king of all whiners when he turns all red. My
Patriots
line
or
is
Steelers?
protecting me.
We're going to wrap this up. Patriots or Steelers?
No, I would take NFC plus 150 in the Super Bowl. I would do that right now on the money line.
What about Patriots?
I recuse myself.
He recused. Hey, LB.
There's
Patriots
no
or
recusing
Steelers?
here.
Oh, boy. You know what?
What?
Gotta say Patriots.
We're out of time. I'm taking the Patriots. I'm taking Green Bay. We're going to see you next Monday. We're going to figure it all out. Thank you so much. Like us and share us. Eat well, party hard. Thanks, my guest,
Happy
LB
NFL
Shore.
Yes, sir.
Rob Mish,
Hey,
Jeffrey
bye,
with a
guys.
G. Tune in on Friday for our Friday show, noon, on Facebook Live. Eat well, party hard, my friends. Cheers.
I gotta be entertaining,
Recuse
brother.
yourself.
I gotta be
You can't
entertaining.
recuse yourself.
We didn't talk about the fight.
He's recusing himself. What do you think, you're in court?
There's going to be a lot of time for us to discuss it.